Shining the Light with IUMC welcomes you to another Meditate at 8.
Our meditation word for today is sin. Sin is not, if I'm being honest, one of my favorite words. First, it comes with baggage. It sounds like a churchy word, and it brings with it reminders of my upbringing in a fundamental church that emphasized sin and forgot about grace. Second, the word raises, at least in my mind and perhaps yours, images of judgment and condemnation. There's so much negativity around the word sin that some churches have stopped talking about it altogether. Years ago, a psychiatrist by the name of Carl Menninger even wrote a book titled Whatever Became of Sin. Other words sound less threatening, mistake or error in judgment, for example. The thing is, we all sin. That's just a fact of life. And while the Bible states clearly that sin separates us from God, the Bible also makes incredible promises when it comes to how God deals with our sin. In New Testament Greek, the word hamartia is used to refer to sin. Hamartia comes from a word used in sporting events, specifically in archery. It means to miss the mark or the bullseye. The very center circle in the target is the goal. Anything else is a miss. It didn't matter whether you missed by a little or a lot, a miss was a miss. Lent invites us to reflect on how we miss the mark God has set for our lives. We are invited to recognize the ways in which we've fallen short of God's standard and then confess our sin to God and seek forgiveness. But now comes the good news, the gospel of Jesus Christ. When we confess our sin to God, we are forgiven. There's no negotiation on God's part, no reminder that we've fallen short before or how many times we've fallen short. There's no condemnation. There's simply grace and love. The Bible tells us that if we confess our sin and seek God's forgiveness, God not only forgives, God remembers our sin no more. It is gone, erased for all time. God won't bring it up later or hold it over our heads. It is through the transforming power of God's love and grace in our lives that we can become more like Jesus in our attitudes and actions. Today, do you have sins that need to be confessed? What a wonderful day to release them to the God who promises to forgive and forgive and forgive over and over and over again and to never stop loving. One more promise of Lent.